If you have ever felt like the world hits you harder than it hits most people, like every sound is louder, every emotion deeper, every experience heavier, then this is for you, because today we're going to explore the mind of people who feel everything too deeply. The people who look calm on the outside, but live inside a storm of intense emotions, quiet thoughts, and invisible battles. And the strange thing is that the deeper they feel, the more misunderstood they usually become. Because the world often sees sensitivity as a weakness, when in reality, it is one of the most powerful and complex traits a human being can have. Feeling everything too deeply doesn't just mean crying easily or being emotional. It means your brain processes life in high definition. It means your heart reacts to things others think are small. It means you read people's moods before they even speak. It means silence can feel loud, and loud places can feel unbearable. It means you don't just listen to words, you absorb them. You don't just see pain in others, you feel it in your own body. And while this ability can make you kind, compassionate, and intuitive, it can also make life exhausting. People who feel everything deeply often grew up learning to sense danger or tension before it happened. Many of them spent childhood trying to keep the peace, noticing small changes in tone, footsteps, or expressions. Their sensitivity was not something they chose. It was something they needed to survive, or something their brain was naturally wired for. Over time, this made them experts at detecting emotions, sometimes even better than the people actually experiencing those emotions. They became the ones who sense when someone is upset even before that person admits it. They became the ones who feel the unspoken, the ones who carry the emotional weight in a room without anyone asking them to. This gift, however, comes with a price, because their emotional antenna never turns off. Even when they want to rest, their mind keeps scanning, noticing, absorbing, feeling. These people often appear strong because they've had to build a shell around themselves. They don't want others to see how much they're affected by things. They don't want people to know that one comment can replay in their heads for days, or that seeing someone sad can break their entire mood. So they hide it, they joke, they smile, they act normal. But inside, they feel deeply, constantly, intensely. Some call them too sensitive. But sensitivity is not the problem. The problem is that the world is not designed for people who feel everything in high intensity. The world rewards people who can detach, who can shut down feelings, who can move on quickly. So deep feelers begin to think something is wrong with them. They ask themselves why they care so much, why they get overwhelmed so easily, why they remember pain so long, why they think so deeply about things everyone else forgets in minutes. This leads to another trait of deep feelers. They overthink, not because they want to, but because their emotions come with layers and their thoughts come with echoes. A simple argument can replay in their minds with different endings. A small mistake can feel like a heavy failure. A sad memory can feel as fresh as the day it happened. And even when they try to let go, their brain holds on, analyzing, revisiting, trying to understand every detail that others ignore. This is why deep feelers often prefer peace, quiet, and solitude. They need space to process everything happening inside them. They need silence to cool their emotions, to reorganize their thoughts, and to recharge. But here is the twist. Too much silence can also feel lonely, because people who feel deeply don't just feel pain strongly. They also feel love, connection, joy, and meaning deeply too. They want relationships that feel real. They want conversations that feel honest. They want friendships where they don't have to pretend everything is fine. They want people who see them, understand them, and don't make them feel like they're too much. Another thing about deep feelers is that they often attract broken or struggling people. Not because they seek chaos, but because others can sense their empathy. People open up to them easily. Strangers tell them their secrets. Friends run to them for emotional support. Loved ones treat them like the safe place. And they give. They always give. They listen. They comfort. They heal. They absorb pain that isn't theirs. But deep inside, they wish someone would ask how they're doing too. They wish someone would check on them without being asked. They wish someone would care with the same intensity they care for others. But they rarely say this out loud because they don't want to burden anyone. They don't want people to think they're demanding. They don't want to seem clingy, so they suffer quietly, hoping someone notices. But most people never do. And when they finally get hurt, they get hurt deeply, not because the pain is bigger, but because their emotional system feels everything at full volume. A small betrayal can feel like a disaster. A cold reply can feel like rejection. A broken promise can feel like abandonment. They don't get over things quickly because their hearts hold memories like tattoos. Even when they forgive, they rarely forget. And this makes them cautious. They start hiding their softness. They start building emotional walls. They start pretending they don't care. Not because they want to be cold, but because they are tired of feeling too much. They are tired of being the one who loves harder, gives more, and gets wounded the deepest. But here is something most people don't know. Deep feelers are also some of the strongest people in the world. Yes, they cry easily, but they also love intensely. Yes, they get overwhelmed, but they also survive things others would break under. Yes, they get hurt deeply, but they also heal deeply. Their strength is not loud. It is quiet, patient, and internal. It is the kind of strength that grows from surviving emotional storms no one else sees. It is the strength of someone who keeps caring, even when life has given them 1,000 reasons not to. It is the strength of someone whose heart breaks, but still chooses kindness. Another fascinating thing about people who feel everything deeply is their imagination. Their mind creates whole stories around emotions. When they love someone, they imagine futures. When they care for someone, they picture possibilities. When they fear something, they imagine every outcome. This imagination is a double-edged sword. On good days, it gives them creativity, passion, inspiration, and empathy. On bad days, it feeds anxiety, fear, overthinking, and emotional exhaustion. But this imagination is also what makes them artistic, expressive, spiritual, intuitive, and visionary. They are the poets, the thinkers, the dreamers, the ones who see beauty in things others ignore. Deep feelers notice small gestures. They remember small kindness. They appreciate moments that seem ordinary. They find meaning in details. They see the world through a lens of emotion instead of logic. And because of that, they often understand life in a way others never will. Another truth about deep feelers is that they rarely ask for help. Not because they don't need it, but because they don't want anyone to feel the burden they carry. They've been the emotional support for so long that the idea of being supported feels foreign. They don't know how to say, "I'm struggling," because they're used to being the strong one for others. They don't want to disappoint anyone. They don't want to seem weak. They don't want to inconvenience people. So they keep everything inside until it becomes too heavy. And that's when they crash silently, alone, hoping nobody notices. But even with all this, deep feelers love in a rare way. When they care about someone, they care with their whole heart. They show love through presence, attention, and emotional connection. They remember birthdays, favorite songs, and small details. They read between the lines. They sense when something is wrong. They give without expecting anything in return. And even though they get hurt deeply, when they find someone who understands them, they become the most loyal and gentle partner a person could ever have. So what makes a person feel everything so deeply? Science suggests their brain has stronger emotional wiring, more active mirror neurons, and higher sensitivity in the nervous system. Psychology suggests they experienced early emotional intensity or environmental stress. Spiritual views suggest they have an open heart and high intuition. But whatever the cause, the effect is the same. They move through the world like emotional sponges, absorbing life in all its textures, colors, and vibrations. But here is the most important part. Being a deep feeler is not a flaw. It is a superpower. Yes, it can make life more painful, but it also makes life more meaningful. You feel deeply because you care deeply. You love deeply because you understand deeply. You hurt deeply because you notice things others don't. The world needs people like you. People who feel, people who care, people who don't hide behind emotional numbness, people who give kindness, understanding, and truth in a world that often forgets them. If you feel everything too deeply, there is nothing wrong with you. You are not weak. You are not dramatic. You are not too much. You are simply wired to experience life with a sensitive heart and a powerful mind. And instead of fighting your nature, maybe it's time to understand it, protect it, and embrace it. Because the world may not always understand people like you, but the world is definitely better because you exist in it.